Rock Seller Magazine.
Hi, I'm Lisa Loeb, and I have a brand new album out.
I just want to let you know I have a new record out called Run to Me.
Hi, we're Pablo Cruz.
Check out our new single.
I've got new music.
I got a new hip. No, not that kind of hip.
Contests, giveaways, prizes. Daily free newsletter. Never miss out. Rock music news delivered. rocksellermagazine.com/subscribe.
Welcome to Arts on the Move podcast. Bienvenidos. I am your host, Calypso Aranda. Thank you so much for joining us. With Cinco de Mayo being ayer, yesterday. Okay, so, today's show pays tribute to our Mexican culture that the city of Los Angeles is filled with. And today's lineup, we have Maricela Martinez, director of Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas, Viva las Mujeres, and the Delgado Brothers. Are they really brothers? We're going to find out. The Conjunto Jardin with the beautiful sisters Libby and Cindy Harding. But before we get to that, concerts are back. Yes. And we don't want you to miss Councilman Bob Bloomingfield July 4th extravaganza, hosted by Woodland Hills Porsche, with opening acts Alunis and main act Ticket to Ride. Para más información, for more information, head on over to valleycultural.org. Don't want to miss it, and we want to see you there. I have a funny story to share with you guys. Okay, so my dad's been on me with, you're not really into the culture. You're not really Mexican because you don't even eat a jalapeno. And I said, Dad, I already told you I can't because I am Mexican. I swear to you on everything. And he's like, no, you're not. Here, have this jalapeno. This jalapeno was so green and it looked so fierce and it looked very spicy. But you know what? Did I eat it? Did I not eat it? My son's looking at me like, Mom, don't ever let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. This kid can eat jalapeno like a whole one. Okay, so I'm looking at this jalapeno. I'm like, Dad, you're really going to make me do this? And he's like, just take a bite. It's not going to hurt. Here, we have some agua. We have some milk in case anything happens. I was like, okay, if I call in sick tomorrow, my stomach really doesn't great, Anyways, did I take a bite of the jalapeno? I took a little tiny bit of the tip. And you know what? My son grabbed that thing and he ate it like it was a flaming hot jalapeno chip. That's my story, guys. You know what? I am Mexican. And you know what? It's okay if you don't eat a jalapeno. Can you sympathize with me? Can you? Okay, coming back after the break, we have Maricela Martinez joining us from the director of Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas.
Good morning. At Amazon, we have husbands and wives that work together, daughters and mothers that work together, and we feel like a family together.
You drive her home, right?
Don't always.
My name is Deontay, and I work with my fiance, Tiara. It's just fun to work with my best friend.
My daughter. We rely on everybody else. It's like a big, huge family. I'm very thankful to have that. Love ya.
Love you. The type of relationships that you create make you come in with a smile on your face.
Hello and welcome to the Valley Cultural Foundation's Arts on the Move event. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman from America's best named city, Sherman Oaks. If you or someone you know is having trouble dealing with any federal agency, perhaps a stimulus payment or difficulty with a PPP loan for small business, call my Constituent Services Office at 818-501-9200. My staff works very hard, they'll solve your problem, and then I, Brad Sherman, take the credit. I think that's a great system. Again, our number is 818-501-9200. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman.
Welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a great one so far. I am your host, Calypso, and we have a great lineup, and we're starting it up with Maricela Martinez, who is the director of Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas. We want to go ahead and welcome her. Welcome, Maricela. If you are on the Zoom, come on in. Hi, Maricela. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited to be with all of you. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Before we go any further, you are the director of the all-female Latinas, Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas, a proud Mexican immigrant, now a U.S. citizen. Congratulations. You are from the beautiful
Thank
city of
you.
Guadalajara, Jalisco. Oh my God, Viva Mexico. One of the beautifulest women are from Jalisco. Hint, hint.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us, how are you? And I know that Cinco de Mayo was ayer, yesterday. You must be so tired, or did you perform? Did you do any Zoom performances? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we did a funeral in the morning. It took like 4 hours. One of the longest funerals we've done during this pandemic, and the sun was hitting on us. So yes, that drags our bodies a little bit. But then we did 2 virtual concerts, one for the Consulado de Mexico in El Paso, and another one for McKinley Elementary School for the kiddos. It's like, coming back concert for them to share about the instruments, about how we do like on our women status, and we also did a show at Soho in downtown LA. Soho Warehouse is a very exclusive place, and we're very happy to be there every Cinco de Mayo. Last year we missed it, but last night made it up for us.
That's awesome. Maricela, you went all around from Texas to LA and then somewhere else. Isn't that amazing? Like with virtual, we just you pivoted and you were just in 3 different areas all in one day. So you probably are a little tired.
Yes, and the phone, like you said, concerts are back, into business, and also gigs and concerts and stuff for us, work for us. So the phone is like burping. They wanted me to answer the phone and booking for private parties and events. But we need to give priority to, Mother's Day weekend, the big season for us.
That is a big season. So tell us a little bit about your journey in becoming the founder and the director of Mariachis Lindas Mexicanas.
It took many years of, experiences and caídas y levantadas, a learning process of trying to put things together, from the pay gap that we women go through, and then from creating a space for only women where we could express ourselves without being bullied or being too much for men or scare them, a place where we could go from gig to gig and talk about our personal stuff, our goals, our lives, and then go and perform and get united with music, and just culminate the process of the day at a gig or backyard party or concert or show. For me, creating Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas, it's, it was a safe place for all of us and a way to preserve our culture.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about your journey, like becoming the founder. Like, how did it all start? ¿Cómo empezó todo? How was it? I mean, you have a long time en this trayectoria in your journey. Please tell us how it all came together.
Okay. Well, I was 17 years old when I started, going to music classes with a personal teacher. And then my father would teach me. And then I went to University of Guadalajara to study music, all at the same time as, strolling restaurants in Guadalajara and asking table by table if they would like to hear a song. And that's the way I learned. I didn't start it in a big escenario or stage. I started from the bottom, and that took me to places, beautiful places like Mariachi Reina Los Angeles, Mariachi Mujer 2000, and also Mariachi Perlitas de Guadalajara, which is a well-known mariachi as well. And I had my mariachi when I was 17. As a teenager, I was the leader of the band. And, well, I joined other groups, and then I just wanted to create something. I knew there were a lot of opportunities here in LA, tanto como radio, music, films, artists, fusions, and I was not wrong. Right now I could see all that vision coming through and materializarse in one thing, and saying I was right. We had a lot of opportunities to be on TV shows and movies and everything. So becoming the leader, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of your time, a lot of stress. But in the end of the day, we're doing what we love, and and we're getting paid for it. So I'm so grateful with God and the universe for, showing me the path and having this tradition from my dad coming down to me, and then hopefully for my children, to my children.
That reminds me of that quote que dice, I don't know if you've heard of it, you never have to work a day in a life if you love what you do, ¿verdad? I think have you ever heard of that? Like, gotta love what you do, and to get paid for it is a bonus, definitely. Maricela, for those that are not familiar, I mean, who could not be familiar with mariachi music? I mean, hello, it's like all over the place. But for those that are not familiar with the mariachi music, can you just give us like a little brief history of, its beginning and how it has flourished? Obviously, mariachi music has ese simple tone desde when we were chiquitos, when we were younger. How has it flourished today? Has it lost its dynamic? Give us elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay, we can find mariachi history or mariachi traces since late 1800s. Escritos, pictures, and stories from people, and also recording audios that are very old. Mariachi music is a result of the revolution, and then also the president of Mexico wanted to show off with the beautiful music. So that's the way it started to, put it in the spot and the light spot to the world. Then the imaginary from the movies in Mexico, they created this rancho style life where all Mexicans, wear charro suits, sombreros, and rebozos, which now is not the case. And back then was not only the case, but when the world thinks about Mexico, they think about a charro suit and about mariachi. Of course, the musicality of the performers, it's been evolutioning day by day, if I said it right.
Yeah.
Ha evolucionado, it's been changing. A lot of people, the mariachi lovers say, the mariachi doesn't sound like 1970s, 1980s. Oh. Of course not. Okay. Musicians are more prepared. Now they go to school, they get their careers, they get to really know about the music. Back then was more organic music, by the heart. And obviously right now, a lot of people would say, I have never, what do you do? Do you dance? Do you play? What is it that you do with that suit? And it's really nice to just take the time and explain to them, this is a cultural tradition. This is a mariachi thing that goes on around the world. And then when they hear about it, then they connect, I guess, images and memories for themselves.
We did touch a little bit, Maricela, earlier about how, it's being accepted, but now with a mariachi being such a male-dominated field, do you feel that sí it's being accepted un poquito más?
It has been male-dominated, but just because of the patriarchy, not because we haven't been there, because mariachi mujeres have been there for many years, many decades. So one thing is that we are now taking our voice and using it more than to sing. Now we're making our voice heard and our rights, and then say, we need to take our own spot, our own place. Yes, they're accepting it. It takes them a little bit of pride to say, yes, you're doing good. Yes, you're taking over a little bit. Maybe you're doing great. You might not hear it a lot, but when you hear it, it's good to at least get acknowledged,
I love it. So I know we're gonna play a video ahorita, Los Laureles. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Introduce la canción.
Claro que sí. Bueno, antes que eso quiero darle las gracias. I want to thank you everybody for having me to represent not only Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas, but also Mujeres Mariachis, immigrant community, and mujeres in general. So thank you very much for inviting me. And this song is called Los Laureles, very popular. It has a special arrangement by Jose Barrosa from Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. And we did it we recorded it for Mariachi USA first ever virtual show and on TV. So we were very blessed to be part of it. Lo Laureles talks about, be happy under that tree, be happy there. But, I'm going to make you love me. And it's kind of the thing that I'm hurting, but you're gonna be mine.
I love it.
Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening.
¡Échale, chiquita! ¡Como tú sabes!
Ay, pero no para todos. Ay, qué laureles tan verdes, qué rosas tan encendidas. Si piensas abandonarme, mejor quítame la vida. Alza los ojos para verme si no estás comprometida. Eres mata de algodón que vives en el capullo. Ay, qué tristeza me da cuando te llenas de orgullo de ver a mi corazón enredado con el tuyo. Ese es mi mariachi lindas mexicanas, sí señor. Eres rosa de Castilla que solo en mayo se ve. Quisiera hacerte un invite, pero la verdad no sé si tienes quien te lo evite. Mejor me separaré. Ahí les va la despedida, chinita, por tus quereres. La perdición de los hombres son las ingratas mujeres, y aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles.
Oh my goodness. Eso sí. Maricela, that was such a beautiful song. That was Fuiste tú cantando, right? Was that you singing?
Esa era yo cantando y tocando la trompeta, así es.
That's a lot of
I was
work
singing
to
and
do.
playing the trumpet.
When you were singing Tu Grito, I was like, I'm running out of breath. I can't breathe. That was such a beautiful song. Me encantó mucho. Tell us a little
Gracias.
bit about, besides the Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas, what do you do besides this? Because I know you got some things coming up. You're doing some things on the side. Please, por favor, tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Like you said, that's a lot to do when you see the video. You see me singing, yelling, and also playing the trumpet. That takes a lot, but that's not the only thing that we do. We have to rehearse. I have to do the booking and driving from gig to gig, doing everything to make it happen. Just to be here as well, it's a lot of work to put my mind in 10 things at the same time, but I make it happen. I don't know how. But the girls, the girls in my mariachi right now, I'm very blessed because they're well-educated Latinas. One of them, Jessie Vallejo, Dr. Jessie Vallejo, she's a professor. I call Poli Pomona at the mariachi assemble there. And also Olga is going to graduate this year from business administration. And then also Cynthia también, she's tiene licenciatura en administración de empresas. And also Silvia, licenciada de música. And my own, I try to keep learning cultural stuff like this, learning from Valley Cultural Foundation as well, and learning from other foundations. Because of the pandemic last year, I had to overcome my fear to the COVID, and I knew and I learned that I was okay and I was safe and I didn't need anything at home. Thank God. But and I learned that my coworkers, my elderly coworkers in Boyle Heights were having a lot of issues and trouble, just keeping up with the rent and with food. And so we did that. We helped them and we gave food away. We organized and we helped our community. And then, well, a raíz de eso, I wanted to start my own foundation. So I'm just waiting for the government to set the procedure and say, here's your foundation. And it's called Las Mariachis Foundation. I took the time because I was free for the whole year, most of it, to interview girls around the world, mariachi musicians, ladies around the world. And I have so many beautiful stories that you're going to check on Las Mariachis and Facebook. The pioneer mariachis, the new mariachi girls, and from every level. So that's something that I would like to keep doing without, trying to make any money out of it, just to expose their lives and to document all those ladies. And with the Las Mariachis Foundation, maybe one day, not too long, with the help of a lot of people like you, maybe have our first Las Mariachis Cultural Center here in LA.
Mira nomás, you have big plans, Mujeres Poderosas.
Yes.
Congratulations, Maricela. We are so happy for you. We cannot wait to hear when it has become official. And you have to come back and tell us a lot more about it so that we can, follow you. But speaking of following you, where can we find you? Where can we find Mariachis Lindas Mexicanas?
You can find us on the freeway, on the go all the time.
No, de verdad.
Yeah, we have our phone. It's easy right now it's faster for me to get text messages because, like I said, I'm the secretaria as well.
Yeah.
Text messages at 323-906-6685, 906-6685, or Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas Oficial on Facebook and Instagram, Mariachi Lindas Mexicanas. Go on YouTube and our website, mariachilindasmexicanas.com. Thank you for that as well.
Maricela, thank you so much. Que tengas un bonito día. Have a wonderful day and come back to us here at Valley Cultural Foundation here on the Arts on the Move podcast. So after this commercial break, we're going to have the Delgado Brothers. Stick around after this.
Hi, I'm Tim Gaspar with Gaspar Insurance, and we are thrilled to announce that we're the proud sponsor of the Valley Cultural Foundation's new Arts on the Move podcast. The Valley Cultural Foundation does fantastic work here in the San Fernando Valley, bringing arts and music and culture to all of us. Did you know U2's first concert in the United States was right here in Reseda at the Reseda Country Club? And Bruno Mars was actually discovered in Woodland Hills at Pickwick's Pub? Very, very cool. As the leading auto and home insurance agency in the San Fernando Valley, we're thrilled to be a part of all of this. And as part of this podcast, if you call our office and get a quote for auto, home, or earthquake insurance, you'll get a $10 Amazon gift card just for making the call. So please call one of our team members today or go to gasparinsurance.com and let us know that you heard about us on the podcast. Now, enjoy the podcast and have a great day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I know you had a great time talking to Maricela Martinez. We're having a great time here festejando ayer 5 de Mayo. So coming up next, we do have the Delgado Brothers, and I'm wondering if they are in the room already. We have one so far. I don't know how many brothers there are, but we're gonna find out today. Hoy. Hello.
Hi, Calypso.
Welcome to the Delgado Brothers. We have Joey. We have, Bob, and we have David. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Hello. Okay, Steve, Joey, David. Oh my goodness. Did I say everyone's name right? Delgado.
Yeah.
And that's why it's the Delgado Brothers.
Delgado Brothers.
Welcome to Arts on the Move podcast. Hope that, we get to know a little bit about you brothers. And, you guys are a very well-known name throughout Southern California for over 50 years, 50 años. You guys have played their brand of Latin blues, roots, soul, and reggae. I mean, I know you guys are going to say the rest, but 50 years is such an awesome journey. Please introduce yourselves a little bit, and what if you guys play an instrument, let us know. We'll start with you, Joey.
Yeah, Joey Delgado. I'm the guitar player, and I sing second fiddle to my little brother Stevie. And me and Stevie are the original members of the 50-year-old Delgado Brothers, and my brother Bob, to my right, he started this version of the Delgado Brothers band in 1984.
Okay.
And who's next?
I'm Bob. I'm the bass player. Been playing for many years.
Wow.
Started a band with my brother Danny called the Exotics, and my older brother was in a band called the Ambertones back in the 60s. So that was a great LA scene. Anyway, that's me.
I'm Steve, the drummer and the singer.
I see the drummer and the singer. You're gonna sing a cappella today.
Yeah, fair, right? I think I could do it.
Yeah.
I got me.
You can't get him to do original music.
Okay. And then who do we have next to you, Steve?
I'm Dave.
Hi.
I keyboard. I'm the distant Irish cousin.
You know what? I was just gonna say you have a little Irish in you. I don't know, maybe. Okay. So not everybody is brothers. Okay. So, but you are the Delgado brothers. Okay. Correction.
I would say we're 75% brothers.
Aw, and you don't have to be blood brothers. It can be by heart. That's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Dave Kelly's been with us for over 20 years, and we wouldn't trade him for the world.
Joe, you can kick that 75% up to 95%.
Okay,
He's
so
our brother. He's our brother.
how crazy are they? No, just kidding.
Yep.
Okay, so here, thank you so much again for coming in. I know it was a little challenging to get everybody together, but you know you're here. Cinco de Mayo was ayer, yesterday. Did you guys do anything special or perform anything virtually for that?
I made crispy turkey tacos. That was my Cinco de Mayo celebration.
That's awesome.
But normally we would play somewhere, but because of what's going on nowadays, so we didn't have an opportunity to do anything. So, but we will.
So I heard that the Delgado Brothers is sometimes referred as to East LA's best kept secret. Please elaborate on that. How did you get that ese título? How did you get that title?
Well, if I may. So back in 1987, the Delgado Brothers released our very first album on High Tone Records, and the High Tone is not a major label, so they don't have a lot of money. And so they said, well, why don't you guys get on a van and travel across country? I go, well, where do we play? He goes, just go to the next town. They'll hire you. And I said, there's no way. We were all raising our young children at the time, and it just wasn't an option. So what turned out happening, because of the album release, we got to open up for a lot of great bands that would tour through LA area, and they would spread the word and say, man, you go to LA, you got to see the brothers. And so that's how we got that little, moniker.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I know that we talked about a little bit how you guys are not brothers, but there's like a 2-version Delgado Brothers. How did this version come about? Like get together and, how elaborate on that a little bit.
Bobby D.
Well, back in, let's see, that was, the brothers were in Hawaii. And I think the thing was over at 1979. They came back. They were a top 40 band, and so when they came back, Joe and Steve kind of want, that was it for them. They kind of wanted to go somewhere else and do something else. So I said, why don't we start a blues band? And they said, okay. So we went ahead and did a demo with some friends of ours, and it came out all right. And that's how we started this band back in 84.
84, yeah. And a little bit later, like in 86 or 87, we played the LA street scene because of that demo. And that's how we got the record deal with High Tone. Dennis Walker and Bruce Bromberg, who were writing for Robert Cray. Yeah, Joe Louis Walker.
Joe Louis Walker was next to us.
Well, I thought he played just before us.
Yeah, right.
So Dennis Walker happened to be in the audience because of Joe Louis Walker. And so he stayed around and he watched us perform. And it just so happened by coincidence, totally, that we played one of Dennis Walker's songs that he wrote for Robert Cray. And he liked our interpretation. And the following Monday, they called my brother Bob on the phone and they said, hey, Bob, we liked your show. This is Larry Sloan from High Tone Records. And Bob hung up on it.
I thought it was a joke.
You thought it was a joke.
A lot of times my friends are always playing jokes, family members too.
No,
but then everything turned out good.
That's awesome.
So that's what happened.
That that doesn't happen every day of your life when just a band.
No.
That's amazing.
No, we were having a great time, and the LA street scene was a very, very awesome experience for us. I mean, there was bands from all over the world that played here, and it was all for free. And then it just got screwed up, unfortunately. So maybe someday it'll come back. So
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I have listened to some of your music. I absolutely love it. I'm a fan, and I do hear the Mexican influence on your music, on your sounds. Tell us a little bit about, the music and the writing style.
Well, I want to start with the music part of it first, and then I'm going to give it to my brother Steve, and he'll talk about the lyrics and the concept of our what we do. But anyway, musically, we grew up in East LA, and of course, culturally, our parents listen to mariachi music and listen to Latin jazz and also big band. And then when the Beatles came into play, we had all these different hybrid experiences of music. And so especially when the Beatles came into play, we just had to play music. And then my older brothers, they were approximately 10 years older than me, but they would have this amazing East LA rock and roll scene where, like Bob mentioned, the Exotics, the Ambertones, the Midnighters, all these other bands that came out, El Chicano, and they were all there, and we grew up with them in the area. But our band, because of Brother Bob, took a different turn. We went more psychedelic blues, roots rock, type of thing. Thank God. And for that, because honestly, that's the way we feel the most natural playing our music.
You got to keep moving. Yeah.
And that's the brothers, the Delgado Brothers pride ourselves in really, really staying, original and fresh. That's what I really like that we do. But Stevie, go ahead and talk about the lyrics.
Okay, so I think when you had mentioned hearing the Mexican culture in us, I think what you're maybe hearing is a lot about family, and that's so when I write a song, a lot of the lyrics have to do with family, whether it's about a sister or a brother or just good friends. And so in the writing, that's a lot of what's in what you hear. So I think just from that alone, you're hearing that part of our culture. So that's what you hear in the lyrics,
right?
Because us Mexicans, we're so dramáticos, right? We're so stories for days.
I know. My wife comes from a family of one, and so it was a little shocking for her to come into this family. There's 11 siblings in our family, so it's a little rough.
Wow. And I'll tell you, if you write one song about one brother, you got to write one.
Yeah, what about another?
Otherwise, you never get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never the same.
Hard shoes to fill. Talk about. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but musically, we do have this feeling like, people say sometimes that I sound like Carlos Santana, and I go, well, it's part of my DNA. I can't help it. It's what I feel, and I live it, and I know it. So it does come out of me once in a while, and I'm happy that people find that comparison. But that's what the Latin jazz thing and all that kind of stuff. We do incorporate that, like the song that you're going to play later. I'm very proud of. Stevie wrote this song called "Explore Your Mind," and he'll tell you what it's about. But musically, I thought it had a Latin jazz vibe with a blues, overtone. So that's what we do. That's what our thing is. So Steve, what was the song about?
The song was about the flooding in Montecito.
Oh, okay.
I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Where the flooding came through, just south of Santa Barbara. And I read the story because what happened was the flooding was so bad that it actually washed people into the ocean. And I actually have a good friend who lost a very good friend in that flood. And but people were in the ocean from all different backgrounds. I mean, there were homeless people, there were very wealthy people. And when I read the story about it, I thought, that's Mother Nature for you. It's not going to pick and choose who you're going to affect.
Yeah.
Whether you're rich or poor, those kinds of events affect everybody. So it was written about that, and Explore Your Mind. I was trying to say like think about how you're affected in this world by everything that happens. So it's kind of just explore your mind and give it some thought.
So speaking of explore your mind, that was from the album Two Trains, and we're going to go ahead and show that video right now.
To a perfect day. Mother Nature doesn't give a damn if you are homeless or a wealthy man. But now we see we're all the same. You see, the story never really changed. You must explore your mind. It's all right to dance. When we were young, we could run and play. You see, the good times ever here to stay. But now we know we can start to see at the end there's only you and me. You must explore your mind. Check the time and
Awesome. That was Explore Your Mind from the album Two Trains. That was beautiful. I was vibing to that song. I just needed my whiskey and my soda. You know, that was all I needed. Congratulations, guys. Really quick, I read that you guys won the 2016 International Blues Competition in Memphis, Tennessee. Congratulations. Really quick, can you just talk a little bit about that?
My Stanley Cup is right behind me. That's the trophy I won for the best guitarist, Albert King. But the brothers, we were reluctant participants in the International Blues Challenge, but thanks to Michael John, he forced us to enter. And lo and behold, we took first place out of over 250 bands worldwide, and it was an incredible experience. And we met a lot of cool people, and we played all over the world after that.
You're gonna listen to your brother from now on after that, huh?
Oh yeah, Michael John. Yep. I hear you, Michael John.
Oh, that's awesome. How can we find you guys? Where do you guys have coming up next? Please tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have a few shows coming up, but nothing locally, unfortunately. But we are going to play at the Sunbanks Music Festival in Washington State in, I believe it's October. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But my website, the Delgado Brothers website, will be active tomorrow. But you could always find us on Facebook, Delgado Brothers on Facebook page. Please like that, and Instagram and all the other, Twitter and all that stuff. So we're here. We haven't gone anywhere.
Any last minute, anything you want to say before we leave? We let you guys go.
Dave Kelly, happy birthday to Dave Kelly.
Oh,
yeah, happy birthday, Dave.
Yeah. They keep coming as long as they keep coming.
Yeah, sing happy birthday now.
And Dave, yeah. Anyway, Dave's our major contributor to all the Delgado Brothers music. So if you like Delgado Brothers music, thanks to Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today on Arts on the Move podcast. We hope that you come back to us when you have your newer endeavors, of course. You know what? After the break, Who do we have? We have Conjunto Jardin with the beautiful sisters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Calypso.
Joe Andrews here, Pinnacle State Properties. My wife Katie and I want to take a moment to say thank you very much for all your support throughout the years. And you know what? We have, over the years, have been supporting the Valley Cultural Foundation. The Valley Cultural Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit that brings the community together. Whether it be arts, music, there's nothing like the Valley Cultural Foundation. So give them a call, find out what it is they do, and be part of it. In the meantime, if you're thinking about buying and selling real estate, give Joe and Katie Andrews a call, and you can reach us at joeandkatieandrews.com. We're proud to be part of the Pinnacle State family. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Westfield Topanga is open with over 200 retailers ready to serve you. Westfield Reward members can earn 2.5% cash back when you shop at any Westfield Topanga and the Village store or restaurant, and up to $750 cash back when shopping luxury. So sign up today and get exclusive access to events, gift with purchases, and more. Visit westfield.com/Topanga or text 818-306-5956 to learn more. Welcome back to the show. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I just need my margarita. That's all I need. I know that somebody was having a margarita in the Zoom, but she didn't want to show it because she just drank it all. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us. And in the room with us, we have Libby Harding and Cindy Harding from Conjunto Jardin. Welcome to the show. Ladies, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
And then
yes, thank you so much. Well,
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we may have another couple band members joining. Oh, good.
Yes,
here comes Rick.
Let's let them in.
And here comes Gina. All righty.
Libby,
hey, Rick.
Libby, next to you, we have is it your husband?
Kind of dark.
Yes. This is Gary Johnson.
Well, you were going to tell us what you put.
Yeah. So why don't we just go ahead and do some introductions? I'm Libby Harding. I play the jarana, jarocha, kind of the heartbeat of son jarocho. And then this is my husband, Gary.
I play keyboards most of the time, but I also play a percussion instrument that's made from the jawbone of a donkey.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome! That is so cool. Like a Renaissance thing, like that's like like a dinosaur thing. That's awesome.
Cindy.
It's Cindy in the corner here.
Good afternoon, Calypso. I'm Cindy Harding, and I play the requinto jarocho, and it's a 4-stringed guitar. It serves as the lead guitar in the group.
That should be my entrance next time I come to the show.
I'll pass it over to Rick. Rick, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rick Moores. I play bass in the group. I'm sorry about the dark lighting. I only have one light in here, and if I take the block away, it's too bright. I play bass, and I try to duplicate what the left hand of the harp is doing, sort of like this.
Okay, I like that.
Like that.
And then who do we have next to you?
Me, Gino.
Gino, I like your name.
Thank you. I like yours too.
Thank you. Gino, I heard you're from Veracruz. I heard you were from
Veracruz. I'm from Lima, Peru, actually.
Lima, Peru. And what instrument do you play?
I play the cajon, the wooden box. I have a mini one over here.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That's interesting. That is amazing. Well, welcome, Conjunto Jardin. Thank you all for joining us. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Did you guys have anything going on virtually or in-person performance?
Well, Gary and I are on a little trip to the desert, so the band couldn't get together. Okay. So I guess we celebrated individually. That's awesome. But we're very happy to be on your show. To celebrate Mexican music.
Thank you. So being Mexico, I noticed that none of you look Mexican and none of you look, that with the name, but I'm so intrigued. We have to get into this conversation to where, you're playing the son jarocho music, one of the traditional styles in Mexican music. Can you tell listeners a little bit about the type of music that you guys play?
I'd love to do that. Son jarocho is comes from the eastern shore of Mexico, from the state of Veracruz, and it's an Afro, Spanish, and indigenous style. It combines these different styles in the music. The instruments, as we shared with you, that we play many of the traditional instruments, the jarana, which is the heart and soul of son jarocho, the requinto, the lead guitar that I demonstrated. Traditional bands may have a harp, diatonic harp, and Gary represents the style, that sort of style, and the sound of the harp through the keyboard that he plays. And as Rick said, he emphasizes the lines of the harp bass in the bass lines that he plays. And then Gino, plays the cajon, which also replicates the sound of the tacones, the heels that are jumping on the stage or the dance floor, which is a big part of the music. It's singing, it's dancing, it's playing music. And something that represents the son jarocho very well is the fandango, the party that starts in the middle of the night and goes until dawn, with everybody playing. It's an egalitarian style. Everybody's allowed to get up and play music, to dance, to sing. And what's interesting is that Veracruz is one of the major ports for Mexico. It was a port for pirates. It was a port for the conquistadors that came in through Mexico. It was a place that brought in things. So it brought in the Spanish culture, which mixed with the indigenous culture, which mixed with the African culture, as it was a port for the slave trade as well. So this style represents and weaves together those three things. The mysticism and the songs are about life that indigenous communities represent, the animals that they interact with, and the instruments we play, the string instruments, are descended from Baroque guitars. And then the African influence comes in with the song style, the call and response song style, as well as the different kinds of rhythms that are integrated in this music. So that's a little bit about son jarocho. It's a alegre style, it's happy, and it's an evolving style. It serves as a megaphone to tell people about what's happening on both sides of the border.
That's amazing. So Libby and Cindy, you guys are sisters, right? And you've been singing together for like basically all your guys' life. How did this band Conjunto Jardin come about? Please elaborate a little bit about that. Tell us a little about the journey and how it started.
Absolutely. Well, yes, we are gringas. And we learned to play this style of music from our father, Tim Harding, who's a professor of Latin American studies and who studied son jarocho among many other styles in Mexico. And he in the United States, he started the first mariachi at UCLA, the first mariachi at Cal State. So he was one of the people that was teaching people, young Chicanos, about their own culture before there were Chicanos who could teach that subject. So he was one of the first people who brought this music to people who were hungry to learn it. And Cindy and I learned son jarocho with our father. Some people go to church on Sunday. We had jarocho on Sunday, and many people in our house and wanted to learn the style, and we didn't want to be left out. So we started then. And then Cindy and I were in a touring band, Sabia, for many years, and featuring women and social justice content. We always have brought son jarocho to the music to the bands that we play. But then in about 97, I started hearing son jarocho crop up a little bit in some, rock bands, and the group Quetzal was starting to incorporate some son jarocho. And I thought, this is the time for us to do our own son jarocho, but our own way. Mm-hmm. So although we learned a very traditional style from my father, we wanted to incorporate, a little more oomph, so we got with the electric bass, a little more of a rock influence, just sort of an edge. We needed to sparkle, play it, bring son jarocho, the fandango, to the stage, and showcase the music. And we've been involved with also bringing groups from Veracruz to help spread son jarocho to broaden the audience.
That was actually going to be my next question. What does it distinguish, the band from other jarocho bands? Because you just said we're adding our own hump or your own sass. Is that what distinguishes your jarocho to others?
Well,
You want to add to that?
yeah, I can jump in that. There's a number of things that distinguish us. Now there are many groups that have women musicians, but when we started, there were very few. So Libby and me on the kind of leading the instruments and the vocals is distinguishing, but it's also the rock kind of influences that we bring in. It's the jazz influences. It's having a cajonero like Gino, who brings in, the cajon, traditional style, playing the cajon, but he also, he brings in elements of Afro-Peruvian music. And, so we respect and love the traditional styles. We honor them, and then we make them our own. And a few years ago, we had this amazing opportunity to go to Mexico and to perform at the Encuentro de Tlacotalpan. And we had no idea how people would think about our music. I mean, here we are, gringos, messing with the style. But in fact, every single group plays a little bit different than the next group. Every single group, like in the, from one town to the next, uses different instruments, interprets things a little bit differently, uses different lyrics, may talk about different things in their songs. And so many groups came up to us and said, we just love what you're doing with our music. May you live a long life and keep doing this.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, Jarocho is about evolving and sharing and, everybody bringing something new to it.
I love it. So Jarocho music is definitely accepted in the audience. Very, very accepted. I love that they're rooting for you with that. So we are going to play a video. Can you tell us a little bit about this song?
Sure. I can introduce it. I feel like I'm talking too much, though. I can introduce it.
You're doing great.
This is El Torito. And so, as I said, the songs talk about what's going on in life. And this is cattle country. And a lot of people come from ranches and they're raising cattle. And so this talks about, I have this little bull and I take him from town to town, and whatever town he's in, he eats things that come from that town. So when he's in Campeche, he eats azúcar, pan y leche, which is sugar, bread, and milk. And when he goes to yes, yeah, we all like azúcar, pan y leche. When he goes to Tepango, we feed him the skins of a mango. And so, on and on. But what's really interesting is that when they have their annual festival every year in Tlacotalpan, they also do the running of the bulls. Like I said, this is cattle country, similar to Pamplona, but very different. They do their own thing with it. It's a little more hectic and chaotic, where bulls are running all over the town. So this song, El Torito, really kind of represents the culture and the things that people love in Veracruz.
That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and show the video.
Yeah.
El Torito. I have to share a funny story. When I was playing that to my parents, and they right away got up, my dad's bailamos. My mom and my dad started dancing to, I'm pretty sure it was El Torito because we were playing a lot of your songs last night. It was such a beautiful moment. I'm like, you guys reminiscing in the back. Okay, that's great. But that was such a great song. Congratulations to you guys. I wanted to ask really quick each player to play really quick on what each instrument does. Is, we have Rick who does the bass. How does he play that in the rhythms, in the music?
I'll play just what I was playing.
Okay. Okay, and then really quick, I want to call it the dinosaur teeth. Can you play something out of that? How does that noise? The noise that comes out of that.
This is the donkey jawbone.
Quijada. So it's the jawbone and it has rattling teeth.
It's got teeth in it. The teeth rattles when you hit it. So sounds like that.
Wow, that is amazing. You guys, that's amazing. I really, really love that. Really quick, where can we find you? Do you have anything coming up in the near future? Any performances?
We have 3 albums available. They're all available on Amazon and on cdbaby.com. We have a YouTube channel that has a bunch of stuff on it. We have a Facebook page. We have www.conjuntojardinband.com is the new website. We're hoping to have stuff coming up. Everything's been pretty shut down for about a year now. So we had gigs last summer that all got canceled. So
we're all vaccinated now, so.
We're all vaccinated, so I think that opportunities will begin to open up, particularly outdoor concerts.
Thank you so much for joining us. Gotta come back to us, okay? Definitely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Remember really quick that the concerts are back and you have to check it out. Head on over to valleycultural.org because we have Bob Blumenfield's July 4th extravaganza hosted by the Woodland Hills Porsche with opening acts Alunis, main acts Ticket to Ride. The next show that we have, May 20th, we will have a full show. It's going to include morning show host Mark Wallingren, my good friend, Paul Wells, Hans Letts, John Scott, and emerging artists, Plastic Culture, and Make Believe Friends, who will be talking about how emerging artists can get their break in the music business, okay? I'm your host, Calypso. Have a great week.
The Chumash people have stood proud along the California coast for thousands of years. Today, we stand for education. With our tribal youth high school graduation rate at 100%, we stand for giving. As contributors of more than $25 million to the community, we stand for the environment, diverting 90% of our waste stream from landfills. And we stand for wellness, serving 3,000 patients from our health clinic. We are the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians, standing proud with the Valley Cultural Foundation.
Amazon uses a lot of technology, but the real magic is the people.
Jerry, I think it's time for a dance move.
I have great friends that work here. We laugh, we joke, but we also get our job done. We support each other and we just rock it out. There's so many people coming together to create one goal.
Everybody always wants to make sure you're safe and having fun. Work friends turn into work family.